So you're playing Raft. You stop by a local island to gather some resources, chop down some trees, get some fruits and vegetables laying around, maybe find a local treasure laying on top here that has some goodies in there. And you notice you forgot to throw the anchor down on your raft and now it's drifting off into the void. So what do now? You can't swim very fast, so do you even attempt to try and catch up to your raft? And also knowing that there's a man eating shark swimming around underneath? The game won't allow you to build another raft, you can only build onto the raft that it starts you off on. So you can't even start from scratch and hope to build a brand new one, if you had the resources to even start a new raft. So what happens if you're stuck on an island and you don't have your raft? Do you eventually just die of starvation or dehydration? Does the game despawn the island you're on after a certain amount of time when the raft gets a certain distance away? Or do you just kind of live here until you finally run out of resources and just die? Well, that's what I wanted to try and test out. So, my raft is gone. I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm stuck on this island. Have a little bit of food, a little bit of water to kind of hold me over for a couple days of in-game playing. And I'm just going to see what happens if anything happens at all. So, well, we'll check back in as we go. So we've reached the first nightfall here. We made it through the first day, nothing happened. We had some fruits and stuff on us, so we're able to maintain. I thought, hey, maybe I could just fish and grab some fish and then just throw them on a grill and keep that going because I can catch fish until my fishing line breaks. But you can't put a grill down. You have to have a raft to put your grill on top of, and I can't build a raft either. You can't build a raft unless you have a raft to go on top of, and you can't place things just on the ground, at least with a cooking grill. I was unable to do so. So the thought of catching fish and using that to try and keep me alive as food-wise apparently is not going to work. And I'm not quite sure how good raw fish works for you, but I'm not going to try it. Sunrise and the start of the second day with no raft. I'm still hanging on with the food and the water that I already had. Fortunately, fruit makes your food and water go up at the same time, so at least it'll keep you alive for a little while. And even the small islands typically give you a decent supply of fruit. Now, I did see in the direction that my raft took off, there's another one of those individual floating rafts that you sometimes pass in the game that has like a little treasure on there that starts sinking. I've considered the idea of swimming out to it to see if maybe there's anything on there that could be useful, maybe some additional food, who knows what, but since I can't build a raft and I can't seem to place anything, I'm not quite sure if it'd be worth it or not. And the fact that you swim so slow, and again, man-eating shark in the water, I don't necessarily want to try and tempt it. So we're just going to hang out a little bit longer and see if anything happens, because so far nothing's happened other than my food and water's gone down. Well, we've reached nightfall at the end of the second day, and nothing's happened. I did see a tree or two on the other side of the island throughout the day that I had missed because it's kind of a two-part island, so I was able to get a little bit more fruits, more mango to kind of keep me alive a little bit longer. But this is pretty much it. There's not any other trees to chop down, so I spend most of my time just kind of hanging out on top of the mountain. Every once in a while, I'll take a random jump in the water just for funsies, but other than that, nothing's happened. The island hasn't despawned. I haven't teleported across the water. Nothing's happened yet at all. It's just me, an island, and the occasional shark that swims by, but that's it. So right at the moment, we're just still hanging out. We'll see if anything happens on day 3. Well, we're on the third day now, and here's a perk I didn't really expect. I guess Bruce, the old shark, is coded to stay somewhere around your raft, because I've been swimming around in the water looking for parts to maybe be able to do something with, I don't know what, but just kind of looking. I've been in the water for a while, and I have not seen him. He's gone. I've swam out in a while, trying to find him. He's not here, so I guess he does kind of stick around the raft, so if you do get stuck on an island, well, you don't have to deal with a shark. But something else I noticed is that all the debris that was around the island when I first got here, the wood, the plastic, all that stuff that's floating there, that's all gone too. So there's nothing. I have swam out and a ways away from this area trying to find something. There's nothing here. There's still the resources that are on the bottom at the reef that I could swim down and get to, but I don't really need any rocks or scrap or anything like that. But so far, there's nothing here. There's no shark. There's no debris floating around. There's absolutely nothing. But I do know that I'm very much low on food. My bar is getting kind of close to tragic levels down there. And well, I'm out of food. That's all the trees. That's all the fruit. So I guess we're going to end up starving to death. With food nearly gone and no other resources available, I decided, you know what, I have one last-ditch effort. I'm going to swim out to this disposable raft here and see if maybe, just maybe, there's something in the little crate that floats on top of here that I can take with me. Or maybe, if I don't pick it up, it'll stay afloat and I can just kind of hang out on top of here. It doesn't seem to drift away. It's been in the same spot since I lost my raft. But I thought, hey, maybe, just maybe, this might be the one thing that'll save my life since everything else is gone. All right, so let's see if I can... Nope, nope. Apparently the raft just starts singing as soon as you touch it. So let's get this real quick. Anything good? Rocks, one piece of wood, and a decoration package. Oh, that's lovely. We can learn how to craft something decorative right before we die. Oh, great. Where's the island? I think it was that direction. Okay, there it is. We might be able to make it to shore before we drown. Hey, we learned how to make a firewood rack. That'll be useful. Well, I'm going to try to get back to shore before I starve to death and see what happens. Well, food is gone, water's low, and it's almost time to shuffle off this mortal coil, so I'm just kind of hanging out on the island just to wait to see what happens when I finally die. Is it going to spawn me on the raft? Is it going to spawn me back on the island with nothing? I have no idea. I've never died under these circumstances before, but maybe my learning experience will teach you guys what not to do in this game. So, let's see what happens when you die of starvation on an island. You are incapacitated, waiting for rescue. Okay, world saved automatically, and you can surrender all your info, all your stuff, basically 2/3 of your loot, and respawn. Well, that's pretty much our only option. It looks like, yep, it put us on our raft, which apparently has found a much bigger island, and it did a good job of grabbing some recent stuff for us. Hey, there's Bruce. I knew he was somewhere nearby. All right, then. So, if you die on an island without a raft, you eventually either drown yourself, run out of food and water, and dehydrate yourself to death. But eventually, however you go about dying, it looks like it's just going to spawn you back in on your raft wherever it puts you. I got lucky, apparently, and it put me onto another island, a much bigger one. So maybe I can survive a lot longer on this one. Or maybe I'll learn my lesson and remember to throw down an anchor before I decide to go exploring and have to watch my raft drift off into the abyss again. Maybe we'll learn, maybe we won't. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, do me a favor, leave a like on it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys in the next one.